The concept of letting money work is often repeated, but the reality is that money does not begin to work unless it is given a significant amount to start with. This is the often overlooked truth about compound interest. Many view it as a magical process where a small investment transforms into a large fortune simply by waiting. However, in practice, the power of compound interest only becomes evident when a substantial principal is involved, and it certainly does not happen overnight. While compound interest appears impressive on paper, it is one of the slowest methods for building wealth, particularly when starting with small amounts. The basic idea is straightforward. Money earns interest, and that interest then earns more interest over time. Yet the key detail often omitted is that this compounding effect only becomes truly impactful once the invested amount is large enough to produce visible results. Consider an example. An investment of $100 earning 10% annually yields just $10 in 1 year. Technically, the money is growing, but the change is minimal. In contrast, the same 10% return on $100,000 generates $10,000 in a year, a significant and tangible result. The math is identical, but the outcome is vastly different due to the starting amount. This disparity is why compound interest can feel discouraging in the early stages. Investors often watch their money grow by mere cents or a few dollars, which feels more like waiting in traffic than making progress. This slow pace leads many to abandon the process. They hear financial advice to start early and let compound interest do the work, and they try. But after a year, their $500 might grow to $520. Not exactly transformative. What is often not explained is that compound interest works slowly at first. The snowball effect that is commonly referenced does not begin until years down the line, and only if the investor continues to add to the principal. For example, investing $1,000 at an 8% annual return for 10 years results in around $2,158. That's just over $1,000 in profit over a decade. Far from enough to change a financial situation. However, starting with $100,000 under the same conditions yields over $215,000 in 10 years, a $115,000 profit without any additional work. The interest rate and time remain constant, but the principal amount is the game changer. This explains why compound interest disproportionately benefits the wealthy. They already possess the capital that allows their money to grow effortlessly. Someone with a $1 million portfolio earning 7% annually receives $70,000 a year without touching the principal, more than many earn from full-time jobs. Meanwhile, an individual investing $1,000 at the same rate earns just $70 a year, barely enough to fill a gas tank. Compound interest is real and powerful, but it is not a shortcut to wealth. It acts more as a reward for having money or for steadily building towards that goal. For those starting with small amounts, the approach must be different. It should be seen as planting seeds. A single seed takes time to grow, but planting many and nurturing them consistently leads to a thriving garden. Financially, this means saving aggressively, increasing income when possible, minimizing unnecessary expenses, and investing regularly, not sporadically. Compound interest is most effective when paired with consistency. It is not magic, it is a multiplier, but it needs something to multiply. For instance, investing $200 per month over 30 years at an 8% average return results in about $280,000. Doubling the monthly investment to $400 over the same period produces over $560,000. The same interest and time frame apply, but the outcome changes drastically because the investment amount increased. In the early stages, the amount contributed has more impact than the returns generated. Over time, as the portfolio grows, the returns become more significant. This is why the wealthy see greater results. They have already built the foundation. From there, they simply allow the mathematics of compounding to take over. For new investors, the priority should not be chasing slightly higher returns, but focusing on growing the principal. For example, someone earning 5% annually on $500,000 makes $25,000 a year. Another might pursue a 15% return on $1,000, tripling their money to $3,000. Yet even with greater risk and effort, the reward remains smaller. This is why wealthier investors can afford conservative strategies. The math already works in their favor. Starting from zero requires a clear plan and realistic expectations. A small investment will not produce immediate, life-changing results, but each dollar saved acts as a brick in a larger structure. The goal is not to build a mansion overnight, but to lay one solid brick at a time. A high salary is not required. Discipline is. Saving 10% of a $1,000 income is a strong beginning. As income increases, the savings rate should grow, ideally reaching 20%, 30%, or even more. The faster the principal is built, the sooner compound interest becomes impactful. Eventually, the growth of investments surpasses the ability to save. That is when true financial momentum begins. This point is not reached by luck, but by consistent effort, saving, investing, and waiting. Early on, growth is mostly driven by personal contributions. This should not be discouraging. It is expected. The money working for you phase arrives later. When it does, it may seem sudden, but it is the result of deliberate, steady progress. Even those who feel financially limited should invest. Not for immediate gains, but to build a long-term system that rewards future stability and freedom. Every dollar saved now buys time and flexibility later. True wealth is not just money, it is freedom, peace of mind, and options. Compound interest delivers these rewards, but only to those who are patient and consistent. It does not favor the flashy, it rewards the steady. Starting small is better than not starting at all. Wealth is not built overnight. It grows over time, quietly, through disciplined action. Stay focused, stay consistent, and allow the math to eventually work in your favor. Thanks for watching InvestingFlix, where smart money learns smarter moves. Subscribe for more insights that grow your wealth.